My name's Chris, and I'm doing this video for Hey Legal on the traineeship hunt for Scottish legal graduates. A little bit about myself. I graduated from the University of Glasgow. I had a really enjoyable time there. I got a 2-1 in Scots law, and I've recently finished my diploma in professional legal practice at the University of Glasgow as well. I'm working in a bar part-time to keep myself busy while I look for a traineeship. And my area of interest is criminal law. So it's a bit tougher in that regard. There's just fewer traineeships in that market. I'd like to talk a little bit about my experience looking for a traineeship so far. And it's by far not an isolated experience. I know plenty of other people who are in the exact same position as me. The original plan for this video was to interview a few of them so that you could see just exactly the kind of people that are applying for positions with these firms, but they're actually busy doing those applications and working hard on them at the moment. So it's just me this time. So to date, I've applied for 24 traineeships, and I'm really just applying for the kind of work that I'm interested in. I really like criminal work. I'd really love to do that, and I've chosen courses that specialize me towards that during my studies, but also any kind of litigation, any firm that does a lot of court work. And really, so long as it's doing that, I don't mind where it is or how much it pays. And again, that's true for almost everyone I know who's in my position. And to reiterate, that's a lot of people. So 24 traineeships, 7 related paralegal or legal assistant jobs with the Courts and Tribunal Service, for example. 4 charitable organizations where I would just volunteer and hopefully help a good cause and get some legal experience to really make my applications better. 5 jobs in legal journalism. I thought that by doing that I could get a lot of research done and really stand out in interviews. And finally, 8 jobs in hospitality, part-time bar work, that sort of stuff to keep busy. And so from those 30, 40 odd applications, I have my part-time bar job, which is perfectly fine for now. I have had 1 interview, that's actually on Monday, so I've got my fingers crossed for that. And then from the rest, no real meaningful feedback, nothing that I can really work on to develop my applications or know where I'm going wrong, what I need to do more of to help get those jobs. And I by no means think that I'm a bad candidate, or indeed any of the people I know who are going through the exact same thing as me. But it's just difficult. It's difficult when you can't get feedback. And I'd like to do another video on that another time if you watch this space. Getting back to the subject of traineeships, we all know that the coronavirus pandemic has had a huge impact on how many staff any business is able to take on and the amount of money that they're making. And you can see on the Law Society of Scotland's website that it's taken a huge impact on traineeships as well. There are 157 fewer traineeships in the year 2019-20 than there were in 2018-19. Which is quite difficult as well for applicants when you have hundreds of people finishing their diploma. You have 3rd and 4th year undergraduates also applying for traineeship places, as well as people who have finished their diploma some time ago and are still looking. So, the main point of the video. If you're a small firm that hasn't necessarily always taken on a trainee position, that maybe perhaps you don't have the funds or the time, and you don't know what someone like me or one of the many other people in my position has to offer you, well, that's what I'm here to tell you. Trainees aren't just a responsibility, they are an opportunity to embrace fresh thinking. Trainees can bring in new ideas, help with new technology, help develop your business, your firm, and the way you work. One example, I see a huge disparity between firms with really polished online presences. They have really beautiful websites. If you Google that particular field of work, they're going to be the first firm that pops up on your Google, and it will be really easy to find what you need, get in contact with someone, and for that firm to get business. On the other hand, I see other firms, and not necessarily small ones, that just haven't taken the time to refine that website, that user experience. And I'm thinking, as a trainee, I could come in and help with that. And a lot of us can do that because it doesn't need to be expensive. It doesn't need to be difficult to really fine tune some of those points for customer experience, client experience. Another example, Twitter. I see professionals overwhelmingly use Twitter to communicate. The last few traineeships that I applied for, I found out through Twitter. And that's really excellent to see. And I think trainees can help really double down on how firms interact with their client base and with other professionals over Twitter. I think that traineeships and people like me who are graduating, looking for traineeships, have exactly that to offer to the profession. And I can promise you, although no doubt you all hear it in every single CV, every single personal statement, but it's true, and the people I talk to and myself can confirm it, that we're all incredibly passionate about working in the legal field. I know that given the chance, given a traineeship, I will probably work the hardest that I've ever worked in my life. I'm working incredibly hard right now, as are all of my peers, to secure that traineeship. And as we all know, terribly competitive market. But if you're on the fence about whether or not your firm can take a trainee, I strongly encourage you to take one on, because we're ready and more than willing. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this video has given you some interesting perspective on what it's like for a graduate looking for a traineeship at the moment. I hope it hasn't just sounded like me complaining about how hard it is to find a job. Thank you very much to Hey Legal for giving me the opportunity to make this video. And I hope that it gives heart to people who are also in my position to see someone that's going through the exact same thing as them. And I hope that it's been interesting. So thank you very much, and do let me know if you'd like to see more content like this. Thank you.